Hey everybody, what's happening? I'm feeling a little rat-a-tat-tat-tat today. Hair's a bit of a mess, old shirt, just meandering off into a little cubby area where I like to think. And it led me to think about something that I've been thinking about lately. And, I probably would have been a very bad corporate political player uh, in the real world. Thank God I made a living on my own, albeit difficult as it was. Um, the politics of CCing, in an email, and you CC like the boss's boss kind of a thing, because maybe something wasn't getting done and you were just asking and asking. And I got to tell you, I was listening to another individual. Actually, it came up last week at this nonprofit place that I work, where somebody had said, I was just sitting down and somebody said, "Fancy that, I'm getting it done." And I was like, "Qua, tell me." Well, it's amazing how things end up happening when you CC the boss. I'm like, "Oh, you had one of those." And for me, I have never been that guy. I felt that maybe CCing the boss's boss, or the people's, above them, that you're trying to get something done, was a sign of not having confidence that they could do it in the first place. Maybe it's a sign of like me understanding. I've always over understood why people don't necessarily do what they say they're going to do, or get back, to me in a decent amount of time on emails or things that I might request. So I've always been that guy that just doesn't CC. I don't feel like it. I feel the second you CC somebody, it's like I don't want to send a shot over the bow of like, "Come on, man, I've been really cool. We've been trying to work this out, and now I got to CC somebody to get shit done." And then all of a sudden, yeah, I feel myself not being politically aligned and doing the right thing, because I really have to work with that person more in the future. Now I'm known as that guy who's going to CC the boss, And I think that has a lot to do with my inexperience in working in that kind of linear office type situation, because I've never had to really press into that. And so, I mean, there's times where I want to CC people sometimes when I'm doing the work that I'm doing, but I don't. But I have found out through my being more of a sensitive coworker that doesn't do me any good. When I try to like protect a department or an individual or something, and I try to maneuver a way to make it so that like less moving parts, and there doesn't have to be this kind of thinking or tattletelling or snitching environment by CCing the higher ups to get it done. I think that's where I probably would have been an epic fail in the corporate world. And I just don't know if that's something that is a learned trait, to separate the fact that, hey, I'm here for work, and if you're not doing what I need you to do, screw it, I'm CCing the boss. I don't care what you think of me, get your job done, or help me figure this out. Or, we were supposed to do this, why hasn't it happened? And I feel like, especially when the individual in my case, if I was to do that, everybody else is above me, because I'm a kind of scrub. I'm a low person on the list. So if anybody else above me that I might be having a conversation with, that CC button, I know it's always there, but I don't want to be that guy. And then I come to find out that what's really weird about that is that I almost feel like if I don't do it and they continue to ignore emails or something like that, that maybe that's like a disrespect thing towards me. But in my mind, I readjust it saying, well, that person's probably really busy, or I'm not really that important to them because they got so much more on their mind. And when I come up and maybe suggest or ask or do some things, I just get ignored. And I come to find out that eventually can turn around and bite me in the butt. And then what's even worse about it is that potentially in defense, because I will say one thing, my ex-wife was emphatic about teaching me how to protect myself with emails. Like, if you're not getting responses, don't worry about it. Put it to the side, because eventually something might happen. And they say, well, how come this hasn't happened? Then you have to go to that email folder and go, well, I have this whole email snail trail of communications to these individuals that never got back to me. And then, there's like this protection thing. I don't know. I don't have, it's not like I don't have the heart or the guts to play in that. I just, I can choose not to do it at all and not be a part of it. Fortunately, I can do that, but I just don't know if that's a thing that happens all the time. I mean, if that happens, for you and your experiences and stuff like that in the professional workplace, so it's just kind of a weird feeling, that you have to get to a place that you haven't answered me, this hasn't happened, why hasn't it happened? All of a sudden, okay, CC, the people a little higher up, and then all of a sudden, oh, wow, it happens, and it's, but I always lean on that thing where it's like, oh, they're too busy, or, my stuff is small compared to the hurdles they got to get over and stuff like that. They're overworked, they're overloaded, so I'll just sit back and just wait for the accident to happen, and then I can say, well, I did tell you, blah, 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 or when a situation arises, well, I did kind of let you know, or if I'm being challenged on, my work ethics, I said, well, I got a, bunch of emails here that, but I'm not that person, because there's that weird thing about me that I just don't want to be that person. But, well, anyhow, I thought today was a perfect day to share that, because I thought it was the perfect day to share that. So I hope everyone's doing well. Have a great rest of your morning, day, evening, whenever you're watching this. Remember, count the wins. I'm still counting the wins every day, trust me. Even as little as tying my shoes without it hurting. Take care. See ya.